This is the school food waste and composting training. Let's dive in with Corey, the compost worm. Welcome to the school food waste diversion and composting training put on for schools in the Upper Valley Lake Sunapee region of New Hampshire. My name is Olivia Uze. I'm excited to start this series with you. Before you dive into the meat of why you're here, I want to introduce you to the two trainers who have contributed to the bulk of the information that you will be provided with. Cindy Sterling joined the Northeast Resource Recovery Association after years of service as an educator, grants writer, and program coordinator at the Windham Solid Waste Management District in Vermont. Among Cindy's areas of expertise are the connections between recycling and sustainability and both local and national curricular standards. She has been an adjunct professor of geography with Keene State College, New Hampshire, where she has taught for 7 years 2 integrative studies courses, including Let's Talk Trash, Waste Management in the 21st Century. She's worked with quite a number of schools in setting up compost programs and recycling efforts more generally, and I'm excited to have her participation. Natasha Duarte is the director of the Composting Association of Vermont. She represents CAV in policy initiatives, develops and leads outreach and education initiatives, and promotes the production and use of compost as vital to soil health through practices that contribute to water quality, plant vigor, and environmental resilience. I met Natasha Duarte during the University of Vermont Master Composter training that I did last fall. She was incredibly thorough and engaging in her expression of information, and I was glad that she agreed to help enact these trainings for the schools in our region. A quick overview of the resources that are part of this training. The core training are a series of videos that have all been uploaded onto YouTube. The channel is called Food Waste for Corey, and you can find all the videos on that site. They won't come up in a search, they are unlisted, but you can find them through the links that have been provided to you on email and also on the drive. These links are able to be shared, and any of the information that is part of this training is limited to your use only. Please share with anyone you feel would benefit or would be interested in any of the resources. This is the beginning of the resource list for your reference. It's the main document on the Google Drive that you will see. I would suggest that you look at this first before diving into the other parts of the Google Drive. The first section here just orients you to the page and tells you the different sections of the core trainings, which are the main videos that we just discussed, including the other events that will be happening will be put up on as videos and links put here. The presentation material will also be put on the Google Drive, and you'll see a reference to that in this document. Then there's a resources list, which includes all of the reference material during the core training, as well as other highlighted documents that might be of interest to you that are publicly available. There are many resources online, so this is just a smattering, but hopefully it's helpful to get you started. Then there are videos. These are additional webinars or short films that have been made available or that have been found quite interesting or helpful that you can find links to and utilize at your discretion and in whatever way that helps you. Lastly, but not least, there are some additional resources. These would be things like the Northeast Recovery Recycling Association's website or the US EPA website that provides additional resources that you may use as part of your learning and reference during enacting a food waste diversion program. At the bottom here you see the beginning of the table of contents, so that is just a list out of each 4 sections, which each resource listed. If you click on those links, it'll bring you to a later section of the document where it'll give you a short description of what those are before you dive into actually pulling it up, you can pick out what is of interest to you. So this is the main Google Drive folder. Resource list is right here. All of those resource list PDFs and other documents can be found in the resources list by their name. And then you have the core training videos and presentations are going to be in their own folder. The links separated out again, and any presentation material you can find there. I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to Corey the Compost Worm, who was made for this program specifically. I'd like to give credit to my sister Adrienne for teaching me how to use a sewing machine to make this possible. She is homemade, and she is also available for a visit or to be borrowed if there's any interest of that being helpful for a school assembly or something of that nature. Any questions, you can reach out to me, Olivia Uze, at my work email or at the office. I look forward to working with you all further, and please enjoy